All right, welcome back everybody. My name is Pritesh here with Kaizen Crypto, bringing you another video. So I hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. In this video, Bondly will be the first decentralized finance project to run on the Cardano blockchain. As we move full steam ahead towards Goguen, seeing all these DeFi protocols being built on Cardano. Taking a look also at IOHK's Project Catalyst, a community-led project, Liqwid is also a potential candidate to receive up to $250,000 worth of ADA in funding, giving you all more details regarding this Liqwid protocol, as well as the successful implementation of the Allegra hard fork. So we have now crossed over Epoch 236. The hard fork combinator event happened without a hitch, another successful step towards the launch of Goguen. A big shout out to the incentivized testnet Jormungandr OGs. This month is the month where we saw the launch of the incentivized testnet, so a big shout out, happy anniversary to everybody who participated in the incentivized testnet. And if you all stay till the very end, giving you all my thoughts on the price of Cardano USD and where we could potentially be heading coming up in the very near term. So if you all are interested in that type of content, be sure to stay tuned. So to get things started, taking a look at Bondly. So what they are intending on doing is actually moving over from the Polkadot platform and actually transferring their platform over to Cardano. So they're saying that they're going to add its cryptocurrency Bondly to Cardano to complement the existing Polkadot platform. They're also going to bridge the company's two core products, the over-the-counter trading platform BSwap and an e-commerce platform Bond Protect, which provides decentralized escrow and buyer protection. So lots of information within this article. Essentially what they're doing with DeFi, it's pretty amazing to see the amount of developer talent that is being attracted into Cardano. Despite the fact that we have yet to see a full Goguen release, people are taking a keen interest into Cardano. So really interesting to see this. One thing I did want to do is go ahead and play a clip from one of the members at Bondly to go into more detail on what this announcement means.
Thank you very much for joining us on the show. Perhaps let's just start off a little bit of an introduction to Bondly, to yourself and what your team does.
Sure. So the role of Bondly is we're an interoperable, transparent, and portable e-commerce solution. So we really consider ourselves like the next generation of how people will be doing commerce with each other. Our focus, we're similar to PayPal in that we have a tremendous amount of financial services that are great for vendors. We're similar to Stripe in that we integrate very easily into any e-commerce platform that you have. But ultimately, we're completely smart contract driven. So all the benefits of being with cryptocurrency, meaning like things like cross-border payments, things like escrow, are all possible using our platform. So our main focus really is digital assets and how which is becoming more and more important as the time goes on. And this involves things like NFTs, not just fungible tokens.
Now, the word DeFi is one that's bandied around a little bit, I suppose, and anybody who's done a little bit of research after the announcement will have seen your name attached to that kind of movement, I suppose. But it's a lot more than that, isn't it? What are some of the real kind of use cases that you're going to be enabling here?
So I would say that right now we're at a really important inflection point with how crypto is working, and that it's really inspired by several of the quote DeFi products that came out last year that really started pave the way of people trusting smart contracts more to handle more financial functions. But this pivot will change even more importantly next year with more of the Goguen elements being released and smart contracts coming out on Cardano, where we can implement things like peer-to-peer trades, new loan products, new insurance products. So this will all come to it, and Bondly represents an important part of that story, where we're going to be working interoperable across chains to be able to allow people to trade assets that way.
So yeah, I mean, you mentioned the word interoperable, and you're already working with a number of quite well-known chains as well, and so we're delighted to join that roster, of course. But why Cardano? What led you to start working with us?
So yeah, as I mentioned, our whole team is a huge fan of the project, from day one, really. And the ideas that are similar to Bondly and Cardano are really simple. So number one, we feel that, Cardano and IOHK has always been focused on bringing people from unbanked status to bank status, right? Being able to use the blockchain to effectively pull people into the digital economy. So that's really why we're excited working with you. And yes, we are an interoperable platform, so we're going to be featured. Our toolkit will be featured on many different chains, but we feel that we're just here mostly for our customers ultimately. So it's really about the type of value that each layer one can provide. We want to maximize that for the customers that we have on each chain.
So maybe let's just talk a little bit about what we might expect in the future. What kind of some of the use cases, what are some of the specific use cases that the Cardano community can maybe expect to see during 2021?
Yeah, so during the process of the past year and a half that we've been working on this in stealth mode, what we've done is not only just built the technology, but we also built the business. So in progress, we have about 15 different MOUs, some signed or in progress of being signed, with customers who are looking for the capabilities that the Bondly family of products can provide. So when it comes to Cardano, we definitely see room for our first product, which is called BSwap, or Bond Swap, to be offered natively on the chain to trade assets from an OTC pool standpoint. So this means that other projects, including us, that join the Cardano family, will be able you'll be able to buy and trade the fungible assets there. So that's definitely one aspect. The other one that I think is really a clear value add is using the new non-fungible tokens that Goguen will create, and having that as part of our other platform called BProtect. So BProtect is actually our e-commerce platform. So we see that many of our enterprise customers that we're signing deals with may want the opportunity to be able to create assets on the Cardano blockchain, and then use BProtect or Bond Protect as the way to buy and sell those assets directly. So.
Fantastic. Brandon, thank you very much for joining us on the show, and we'll look forward to seeing more of you in 2021. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
So very interesting to learn more about Bondly. This was actually a clip played from the December product update from IOHK, so definitely did learn a lot from that. This is the first decentralized finance project to run on the Cardano blockchain. Really interesting. And since we're talking about DeFi, Liqwid is actually a potential candidate to receive up to $250,000 in ADA funding. This is actually a DeFi lending protocol that's being built by a member in the community. Dwayne Cameron actually went on to describe it, talking about Liqwid Finance is not a bank. It's an open source financial infrastructure. Liqwid does not have a target region or user. Liqwid's functional implementation is an open source lending protocol on a distributed, decentralized cloud. By design, this means global. So really removing the barriers to entry to be able to access capital, talking about the use cases for DeFi. I think it's incredible to see members in the community actually being able to put forth their proposals to receive funding by this treasury system for Cardano. They were talking about their Project Catalyst proposal, saying that their team is competing in the Cardano Project Catalyst grant rounds to receive our seed funding, which will finance our core developers plus our dev partners, App Inventive and Twiag. Dwayne went on to say that he's excited to show the DeFi space what a no VC community-led DAO project on Cardano can deliver in comparison to the VC-backed Ethereum DeFi protocols we see today. So very interesting to hear his thoughts on that. If you go back to think about what we saw with Ethereum, during 2017, we had this ICO craze where you could essentially launch a token on Ethereum and form it as a startup to receive your seed capital. Very interesting to see a different approach to receive funding for a lot of these ideas with Project Catalyst. So Liqwid plans to kick off its development phase next week, with testing scheduled for the end of Q1 of 2020. Although the official launch is somewhat dependent on the deployment of Cardano's smart contracts, Cameron says he's optimistic that Liqwid's roadmap aligns with IOHK's planned rollout of Goguen. Very cool. I wish them the best of luck with their Project Catalyst proposal. If you're interested in checking that out, I will be sure to leave a link for the previous video I did showing you how to vote on some of these Catalyst proposals. Also, the successful implementation of the Allegra hard fork. So the HFC event went off without a hitch. On epoch 236, we saw at the epoch boundary, the Allegra hard fork essentially transitioned the network to allow for token locking. So this is an integral part to allow for the integration of smart contracts on the blockchain. This is actually the third time we've seen this implementation of the hard fork combinator. So the transition is enabled by our unique hard fork combinator technology. Battle proven and yet unscarred, it is now being deployed for the third time. We first saw the implementation of this during the Byron reboot, then Shelley, and the Allegra hard fork brings token locking as part of the Goguen rollout strategy. I wanted to go ahead and say a big congratulations and happy anniversary to all of the incentivized testnet Jormungandr OGs. So the launch of the Cardano incentivized testnet happened last year in December. So I remember during my experience with the ITN, around about March is when I started with the incentivized testnet. And I remember during the early days, there was quite a bit of sleepless nights for many people. So for those of you pioneers out there, a big thank you and a huge congratulations. We've made it this far, and I'm sure that the journey ahead is just going to be even more exciting. So I wanted to go ahead and give you all a big shout out. And then last up, if you all stay till the very end, I wanted to go ahead and share with you all some of my thoughts regarding the price of Cardano and where we could potentially be heading coming up in the very near future. So we saw Bitcoin making a break above 20,000, so a big move happening by Bitcoin. We blew past 20,000, making our way all the way up to $23,800. So a new all-time high for the price of Bitcoin. Now, what does this mean for ADA USD? So taking a look at this price chart here, keeping things very simple, we've got a simple line of resistance drawn at around about 17 cents. So this is going to be a key resistance area which we are currently testing. We actually touched it a couple times back in November, one time here and another time here. So we are now at this point, and we can see if we take a look at the RSI, almost creeping up in towards overbought, but still have plenty of room to the upside should we make a break above this level of resistance. So keeping an eye on that, taking a look at some targets, I would say next key level would be about 18 cents, and above that is going to be at that key psychological 20-cent level. So keep an eye on the price of ADA. Definitely does depend on what happens with Bitcoin if we do get a stark correction, or if Bitcoin decides to trend sideways, should we see some of that capital flow off into these altcoins. So definitely keeping an eye on the price of ADA USD, and very excited for all the fundamental developments happening as well. So guys, that is what I have for you all here in this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. Hopefully you did find some value from this video today. If you did, please be sure to drop a like for me. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the relevant Cardano news and information, be sure to hit that subscribe button. All right, everyone, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.